Hi guys! Welcome to day 17 of our 365 Days of Courage, where we try to encourage one another with God's words in the Bible, looking for Bible verses that assures us not to be afraid, to take courage, and to fear not. Our verse for today is taken from the book of Acts, chapter 23, verse 11. And this so happened to be the reading for the day. First reading for this day, May 20, 2021. So what does it say there? Do not be afraid. You have given your witness for me here in Jerusalem. You must also do the same in Rome. Okay? Now, towards the end of Paul's ministry in Jerusalem, dahil sa kanyang mga preaching, naging controversial siya. In what way na naging controversial itong si Paul? Yung mga teachers of the law, Pharisees and Sadducees, are of course jealous. Bakit sila nagsiselos kay Paul? Because for them, sino to? Sino tong nagsasalita? Did he study the law of Moses? Anong background nito? Etc. So, dahil sa kanilang mga preachings, it sparked the interest of these Pharisees and Sadducees. So, yung Roman commander, inilabas niya si Paul at make him stand before the council. Council, yung council, parang council of elders. Okay. And nakita niya na nagkakagulo na yung mga tao. Now, Paul has this chance of evangelizing the crowd. Ang problema lang, nakikita na niya na nagkakagulo na ang mga tao. People are agitated. Others are eager to listen to what he's going to say. So, nung nakita ni Paul, yung vast crowd is becoming agitated, na there's gonna be a riot. Anong ginawa niya? He said to the Pharisees na naniniwala siya and he is actually preaching the resurrection of Jesus. Now, ito yung talagang nag-spark ng riot na yan. Bakit? Because in the crowd are also a group of Sadducees who does not believe in resurrection. Hindi sila naniniwala sa resurrection. They do not even believe in spirits. And so therefore, nung binanggit niya yon, that he is preaching the resurrection of Jesus, nagalit sila. And of course, yung mga Pariseo na naniniwala sa resurrection, they found na, uy, may kasama namin sa teaching ito. So, ipinaglaban din nila yung kanilang paniniwala na yun. And so, they said, wala namang mali sa sinasabi ni Paul. Why are we even here? Wala naman kaming nakikita na masama sa sinasabi niya. So, you see the strategy of Paul here? The Sadducees and Pharisees are combined against him. And what did he do? And this is what our modern day politicians are doing. Divide and conquer. Divide. Why? Nagkakaisa itong Pariseo at mga Sadduceo laban kay Paul. Pero anong ginawa ni Paul? Yung turo niya, yung teaching niya, has something to do with what the other side, the side of the Pharisees, believe in. So therefore, alam mo yun, the enemy of my enemy is my friend. Not necessarily na kaibigan mo, but magagamit mo siya. Why? Because you have the same belief. So, syempre, itong mga Pariseo, pumanig sila ngayon kay Paul. And that sparked the riot. Because ang mga Sadduceo na ito, they are so diehard in defending their faith na hindi sila naniniwala sa resurrection. They do not believe in the spirits. And therefore, yan yung talagang nag-spark ng riot. And yung Roman commander, nung nakita niya na nagkagulo na, nagkakarambulan na, he was thinking of Paul. Naku, he might be torn into pieces. So what did he do? He rescued Paul and of course brought him inside the jail. Later that night, the Lord appeared to Paul and stood beside him. Stood beside him saying, "Don't be afraid. You have given your witness for me here in Jerusalem. and you must also do the same in Rome. Ibig sabihin, um, Paul was devastated because he has the opportunity to preach to a large number of crowd. But instead na makapag-evangelize siya sa kanila, what happened? He divided the house and the crowd themselves fought each other. It nagbunga ng rambol. Kaya Paul was nadismaya siya because hindi niya nagawa yung role niya. But then the Lord, later that night, the Lord stood beside him. Ibig sabihin, dinamayan niya si Paul. The act of Jesus in appearing to Paul inside the jail cell, standing beside him, is like telling Paul, okay lang yan. You did your best. Now it's time for you to move on to other places. Ibig sabihin, yung kanyang commissioning doon sa Jerusalem has come to an end. Ibig sabihin, you go to other places. Why? Because kahit anong ginawa mong pag-convince sa mga tao dito sa Jerusalem, they still do not believe. And kung hindi nila kailangan yung good news, then it's time for you to bring the good news to other places. But before that, before niyang sinabi yon, pinangunahan niya si Paul. Anong sinabi? Huwag kang matakot. Why? Because imagine, you're going to go to a new place, to another place na hindi mo masyadong kabisado, to preach the same good news. Kay Paul siguro sabi niya, dito pa nga lang sa Jerusalem, where my brothers are, hindi ako pinakinggan, nagkaroon pa ng rambol. Sa ibang lugar pa kaya. And so that is why, nauna yung don't be afraid, bago yung pagsabi na pumunta ka sa ibang lugar. Why? Because Jesus is assuring Paul na you will meet also the same kind of resistance. Especially na sa Rome itself is sila yung may hawak ng Jerusalem. Sila mismo yung mga kalaban. So when you go there, you will for sure meet a certain kind of resistance. And so, para hindi na matakot si Paul, sinabihan siya lang Panginoong Jesus na, do not be afraid. But before na sinabi niya ulit yon, yung words na do not be afraid, Jesus stood beside him. It's like saying, dadamayan naman kita eh. Sasamahan naman kita eh. I will be with you. My Father will also be with you. So do not be afraid. Naranasan nyo na ba na papuntahin kayo sa isang lugar na hindi nyo kabisado and pupunta ka doon sa lugar na yun to represent your group? Now, there came a time in my life that I was so busy with my profession. I conduct review lectures sa mga criminology review students sa Luzon, Visayas, Mindanao. And so, sa sobrang busy ko, uuwi lang ako dito sa amin ng mga how many days, and then alis na naman ako, and then I'll be gone for another 2 weeks, 3 weeks, ganon. And of course, being the youth minister sa parish namin, minsan na napapabayaan ko na yung ministry. And the point na kapag nagpapatawag sila ng meeting sa vicariate, meeting para sa preparation para sa youth camps, meeting para sa paggawa ng action plans, mga conferences kagaya ng Montaño sa Youth Ministers Conferences, hindi ako masyadong nakakapunta. And so, there's this one youth leader na palagi kong pinapapunta. And every time na i-message, hindi ko pa nga yan personal na sinasabi sa kanya, may message ko lang siya eh. Sasabihin ko lang na, kailangan ng representative, may ganitong meeting daw sa ganitong lugar. So, hanap ka ng kasama mo and then go. And she must have been afraid. She must have been afraid. And buti pa nga si St. Paul, because bago siya papuntahin ng Panginoong Jesus sa Rome, Jesus stood by him, comforted him, and assured him not to be afraid. Itong youth leader namin na to, pag nagme-message ako sa kanya, ganito gawin mo, etc. etc. Wala man lang akong sinabing, kaya mo yan, I will support. Wala. And it turned out na naging maganda naman yung mga pag-attend niya ng mga meetings na yan because she was exposed sa ibang mga youth leaders dito sa Bontoc, Lagawe, Vicariate. At isa pa, it became her training ground na kung saan naging formation din niya in becoming an active youth leader. And I have seen how she has matured. I have seen how he has grown. And I have seen how she became a youth leader, and I am very proud of her. But bago nangyari yun, again, kapag mini-message ko siya, she must have been afraid. Imagine yung papapuntahin ka sa isang lugar na hindi mo masyadong kabisado, yung mga taong makakasalamuha mo, you have met them once or twice only in youth camps, and hindi mo pa alam kung ano kayong mga ugali ng mga ito, but she was able to pull through. And siya rin naman on her part, lagi rin niyang hinuhugot yung isa pa ulit na member ng youth ministry, which became her successor and which became the president of our youth ministry now. And yung ganon na started from me to her and then to the other person, it's time for us to pass on leadership to others. As for Paul, his ministry in Jerusalem has come to an end already. Ibig sabihin, ginawa na niya yung part niya in Jerusalem, it's time to move on to other places. And this time, his commissioning came from Jesus himself, and he's going to Rome. So, it's time to move on. It's time to move on. Pass on the leadership to others, and then move on. Because if we don't do that, wala tayong matatapos. Just like Saint Paul, if he stayed in Jerusalem and tried to convince and reconvince again itong mga Sadducees, Pharisees, and all the other Jews na hindi naman naniniwala sa kanya, sayang lang yung efforts niya, di ba? Sayang lang yung laway niya, sayang lang lahat ng mga gagawin niya, since hard-hearted naman na itong mga listeners niya, hard-headed pa nga, ayaw makinig. So it's a waste of time, it's a waste of effort, and that is why Jesus himself said, okay na yung nagawa mo sa Jerusalem, yung mga hindi mo na evangelize, well, let them be. I have other people to attend to that. You are needed in Rome. As for you, Rome, the people, my people in Rome needs you. So go there. Do not be afraid. I will always stay by your side. So, napakagandang reminder sa atin, ano? If we are faced with this kind of dilemma, pupunta ka sa isang lugar with task at hand, pupunta ka sa isang lugar with an assignment at hand, always be reminded that during the night, before you go to rest, Jesus will be by your side to comfort you. When you wake up, Jesus will be by your side to help you start the day right. And all throughout the day, Jesus will always be by your side, guiding you, reminding you not to be afraid. Because He believes you can do it. Jesus believes Paul can also reach out to the people in Rome. Kaya niya pinapapunta doon itong si Saint Paul. And the same na tiwala kay Paul, yan din ang tiwala ng Panginoon sa iyo. So huwag kang matakot. Do not be afraid. What you have done in where you are right now, okay na yan, sapat na yan para sa Diyos. It's time to move on to other places. It's time to move on to other people. It's time to move on to other tasks. And when you go there, do not be afraid. Because Jesus will always be with you. He will also stay by your side and assure you not to be afraid. So that is our encouraging word for today. And thank you once again, guys, for watching. Thank you for listening. And tune in because tomorrow, day 18 of our 365 days of courage is exciting as it gets. So bye. I love you.